Now, by looking at you, I can see you're not necessarily 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
You're not necessarily 250 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
You're not shredded from head to toe.
Mm-hmm.
You don't fit the typical personal coach training physique, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that your current physical appearance could potentially detract future clients? Or do you think being a personal trainer or coach has more to do with other things than just pure physical appearance alone? It's time.
Get ready for Harnick to sound off.
This is the Harnick Debates Podcast
With unfiltered thoughts and zero censorship.
I can say what I want, when I want, and how I want it.
Whether you like it or not.
How do I know what you're saying is true without showing me the evidence?
This podcast is not for the faint of heart.
Listen, pal, whether you like it or not, they'll never tell you what I'm about to tell you.
You are now listening to the Harnick Debates Podcast series with host Harnick Burr.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this next episode on this podcast. My name is Harnick Burmy, aka Nick, and sitting across the table from me here is one of my good friends, Justin. He is someone I've known for over 2 years now. He is a third-year criminology student at UIT, and if you've noticed, we're actually at UIT right now. You can see the background here.
Yes, sir.
It is March, and I think last week it was like 20 degrees or something, and today we're sitting out here and it feels fucking cold.
Mm-hmm.
It is cold as shit.
It is freezing.
The last time I came to you guys, we were like shooting outside and it was just as cold, and you can see the difference. Canadian weather does not change that quick over time, but nonetheless, it's my good buddy. He's here to talk about health and fitness.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say, Justin, thank you very much for being on
Appreciate you for having me.
on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pleasure to be sitting here chilling with you,
Pleasure to be here.
and I hope we inspire some people today, because that's
Yeah.
what we're all about. You know?
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
So let's get started. Let's talk about who you are, right? I want to get started on discussing who is Justin. Give me a little bit of a background story, a little bit about growing up, a little bit about your family life. Who are you, so that the viewers can get a better sense of your personality?
All right, well, I would say, who am I? I am a regular dude. I'm a regular guy who, starting back from my background, I grew up in Toronto a majority of my life. I moved to Markham, then I moved out to Oshawa for school. So in all essence, I'm a regular person. And my whole perspective is that I'm a regular guy who wants to take regular people and turn them to something that they never thought that they could be, or that they never saw within themselves and they never thought they could become. Essentially becoming from a regular person into a great person, and essentially getting your potential, essentially. My position is we are all regular people. I know, I hope I'm not going off on a tangent. But I essentially see myself as a regular person. And my goal is to motivate people like me who see themselves as regular people and turn ourselves into better people, and to what I would refer to as alphas. We are making ourselves into the alpha version of our current selves. So, yeah, buddy. Yeah.
So you are a big fitness fanatic.
Huge, I'd say.
And so with that, I want to kind of delve into your fitness life, right? So I was watching this video. It was a clip from a podcast by a guy named Lewis Howes.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you know who he is, but
I have not.
he's an entrepreneur, and he was interviewing Kobe Bryant,
Mm.
right? Rest in peace, by the way.
Yes.
I think he was probably the greatest NBA player of all time. But he was talking about working out and weight training, and he started talking about how his motivation to go to the gym and to work out and to stay in good shape was basketball, right? So as soon as he retired, that motivation went away, because you're no longer working towards a goal anymore.
Yeah.
And so then, he asked me, he's like, well, what is your motivation now that you are not playing basketball anymore? And he said, I still go to the gym every morning. I wake up at 4 a.m. and I bring my oldest daughter with me, right? Because he said the motivation now is to teach his kids the value of hard work.
Yes.
Right? And that's kind of what I want to, ask you. Like, what is your motivation? What keeps you motivated on days when you feel like, you know what, man, I want a day off, right? What do you do?
I think about what I am now and what I want to be tomorrow, and I ask myself if I'm willing to do the work. If I'm feeling bad today, I'm going to feel even worse if I don't get the work done. If I'm feeling like shit right now, if I don't go to the gym because I feel like shit, I'm going to feel like even worse shit. So when you take a day off because you're feeling horrible, or you take a day off of work, it's just going to come right back to you later. There's no putting off suffering. If you are in a horrible spot right now, putting it towards tomorrow isn't going to do you any favors tomorrow. It's going to make things 10 times worse, and it's going to make essentially getting back on track even harder. I understand that there are things that come along in life that interrupt us from what we want to be and our goals, but it's all about making some sort of progress towards our goals, even if it's at a snail's pace. Of course, we want to reach our goals at a certain time, but sometimes it takes slower steps to get to our ultimate goal, which is to be a better version of what we are right now. And to just put yourself in an area to where you're just not improving because things aren't, you're not in optimal conditions, you're just, once again, you're just going to further yourself down the rabbit hole of shit, to be honest. You're not going to be anywhere closer to your goals, and you're going to feel even farther from them. And it's not going to do anything for you in the long run. So it's accepting, honestly, the bullshit of life. Sometimes life, honestly, it sucks ass, and we have to accept it and move forward with it. So yeah, that would be my response to that. You have to accept some of the crap that comes along with life, and you have to move forward. Oh.
And as cliche as that sounds, it is the truth.
It is. It sounds like something from the Lord of the Rings, like Frodo would tell Bilbo Baggins. But no. Well, anyways, I'm not. I'm not too versed in that. But you know what I mean. Like it might at times sound corny, and it might not sound guys, at the end of the day, you have to find within yourself, you have to ask yourself, what do you want? What do you have to do? How you're going to do it under the conditions you're currently under, and you have to continue with it. There's no way back anymore. We can sit here and moan and whine about our current situations. I even do it myself. This COVID situation sucks ass. There's a lot of things I can't do right now that I want to do, but it is what it is, and we have to keep moving forward. That's the only way. We can't move. Sometimes, you have to take a break, but at the end of the day, you have to keep moving forward. Even if that's a current pause, you have to find a way to just keep pushing forward. And I'm not trying to sound like some off-brand Nike commercial right now, but that's life. Sometimes life really sucks, and you just have to learn how to deal with it and keep going where you want to go.
Yeah. So that's very powerful, man. I kind of want to transition and talk about, you mentioned having to deal with just the crap that comes with life, to deal with reality. I've said this on multiple occasions. If you try to fight reality,
yes,
you're basically going up against hell, right? And your goal is to try and help younger men.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. To become this sort of alpha male that you are envisioning them that they could be, right?
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about this because you told me this fitness training program initiative that you want to start, where you want to train young men who are, let's say, overweight or obese, or not in good physical shape. You want to train them, you want to work with them to try and be the best they can be.
Yes.
Elaborate to me a little bit about this program that you're starting.
So what I want to do is, by the way, it's the name itself is called MadeAlpha, and essentially in the name itself, the idea is making yourself the alpha version of what you can be. A lot of I was motivated to even get into fitness in general because I was weak. There's weakness even currently within me that I'm trying to become stronger with, and build myself up. And the whole idea of made alpha and what I'm trying to do with younger men, even older men, is that all of us have potential, and we need to utilize it while we can. There gets to a certain point in our lives to where we have to be able to. It's essentially a fight or flight response. You either have to shy away from what you have to do and be mad about it, or you accept life for what it is and what you're seeing with reality. You accept reality, you move with it, you make a plan, and you do what you need to do. Essentially with MadeAlpha, it's essentially taking men from what they currently are, be it a weaker state of what they are now or what they were before, and turning them into a better man. And that's what I love to preach, is essentially taking what you are and making yourself even better. Yeah.
All right, so Justin, you were talking about, wanting to help men achieve their greatest goals by looking and training them to become essentially alpha males, right?
Yes.
And this is what your goal is with your program that you want to start. So I have a hypothetical question for you.
You got it.
All right, I got the scenario, and I want to see how you're going to react to it.
Okay.
So let's say, I am somebody who's overweight. Okay, I'm somebody who's out of shape. I come to you and I say, hey man, I need some help.
Yes.
I'm overweight. I want to go to the gym, but the lockdowns have shut everything down. I can't hit up the gym. I don't get time to meal prep during the week because I work 7 days a week, right? So I just, go to McDonald's and call it a day because I really have no time. I haven't picked up a girl since the 10th grade. All these like tragic, statements that people are making, right? Take me through the process that you would follow to work with somebody in a situation like that. What would you do?
So first, it begins with what the person wants. And what I get from your question is that this person wants to go on a date, right? At some point in time in the future, very soon.
He wants to go on a date. He's overweight. Simple things that he was able to do is getting harder now.
Yes.
Everything is just going down. How can he come back up?
Well, first he has to realize what he wants, which is what he wants. He wants to get in better shape, and he wants a girlfriend. Okay. What does it take to get that? To get a girlfriend, first let's start with your shape. Most women don't want a dude who's overweight and has bigger breasts than they do, right? Most women don't appreciate that, right? So first, getting in shape, that's going to be the number one thing. Now, what are you going to have to do? Well, now what the problem is, what I get from this man, let's name him John. John, he's not eating well and he's not exercising. He works a lot. I would say his first step is he needs to, I'm sorry to John, but he needs to meal prep. He needs to find a way to eat properly. Be it he signs up, he's working a lot of hours. He might want to invest in a meal prep service of some kind, maybe a plant-based service, to where the meals are being delivered to his house every week. Because if you're working 7 days a week, you should have hopefully a little bit of money to put in a meal prep, or maybe you have to find time in your week to cook your potatoes, your rice, your beans, and eat accordingly. If your diet's not good, nothing's going to be good. Again, even with losing weight, it really does start in the kitchen. If you're eating in such a high calorie surplus to the point where you're not burning off more than you're taking in, you're not going to lose weight, and you're going to stay in the same position. You're going to lose even more confidence and motivation to get what you want done. So first, you have to establish a proper diet plan, follow that plan, and essentially you also have to incorporate some sort of physical activity. And now I understand with this man John, he's in during the pandemic too, I would assume. He needs, if his goal is weight loss, I would recommend that he do some sort of cardio. And cardio requires no weight training at all. You're gonna drop calories, you're gonna lose weight, and all you have to do is even in the beginning, let's say if it's just doing a 10-15 minute walk per day, even after work, instead of taking the bus home, you walk a little further and take the next stop up. It's about doing the little things, because the little things add up to something bigger. You're gonna lose, let's say even if you're losing 1 pound per week, that's a great goal. Over time, let's say even by next summer, or even say by spring, you'll be in a better shape than what you currently are, and you're going to feel better. And then when gyms start opening up, you'll be able to get into more serious forms of training. But for right now, you're working a lot, you're overweight, and you need to do, again, the things that you can. So just to summarize, you have to create some sort of diet or meal plan, and or you have to subscribe to some sort of meal service if you don't have time to meal prep. And you have to incorporate some sort of exercise, be it cardio 3 days a week, walking a little extra, missing the bus instead of walking home. And even over time, incorporating doing some push-ups, tricep sit-ups, tricep dips, sit-ups at home. And training yourselves to when you're able to do more advanced techniques when the gym opens back up. So it's all about starting. I know no one likes it, but sometimes you have to start small to get big. Or get small in this instance. So, that it's all about taking smaller steps.
That it's funny because those are all tips that are really anybody could give you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about, okay, the person that you're giving them to, are they willing to implement them?
Yes.
Right? Because there's some people that will take that advice and not do anything with it.
Yeah.
Right? But here's where I'm curious, right? Because in any line of work, right, whatever it is, whether it's fitness, music, photography, anything, right, you have to gain credibility.
Yes.
Right? Otherwise, people just won't take you seriously, right? You essentially have to walk the walk as good as you talk the talk.
Uh-huh.
Now, by looking at you, I can see you're not necessarily 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
You're not necessarily 250 pounds. You're not shredded from head to toe. You don't fit these typical personal coach training physique, right? Do you think that your current physical appearance could potentially detract future clients? Or do you think being a personal trainer or coach has more to do with other things than just pure physical appearance alone?
Well, of course, your physical appearance is what's going to attract people. I would think, well, even right now, I'm going through my own, my own trials and tribulations. There are things that are holding me back from what I want to do as well. But I'm trying my best with what I got, and it's essentially about, of course, everybody wants a personal trainer that's jacked and shredded to the toe. I'm not currently that right now. It is what it is. But what I'm really trying to emphasize is, the person you want to encourage you want them to embody what you're saying. But sometimes, again, it depends on the coach. It's not always what they currently are. You don't know what they're going through. But it is more optimal to be the guy who's shredded and who's beefed up and advising people to do what you're saying to do. That's always good practice. But sometimes it's just not that. No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we kind of switched our locations again. I'm sitting out here. I got no gloves on. I'm wearing a cap. I got one layer under this, and I'm freezing. So as I said in my last video, I want you to fucking subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I'm doing this
for your entertainment,
and we're doing this for you.
For you.
I gave this man my jacket because I respect him, and I respect all my guests.
Yes.
I don't give a fuck if I'm out here freezing in hypothermia. I will do whatever it takes to keep the guest happy. And you can see, well, you can't see, but my cameraman in the back is dying of laughter because he knows it's fucking true.
Yep.
Okay, enough with that, right? We'll get back to what we were talking about. So, I want to kind of transition a bit, and we were talking a lot about weight training specifically and fitness. I want to move on to talking about young men specifically now.
Okay.
Right? Because we talk a lot about toughness, physical toughness, mental toughness. A lot of people attribute toughness, if you're strong physically, with mental toughness as well, which those are two different things, right? And I kind of want to emphasize it with this quote that I found.
Okay.
So there's this author by the name of J. Michael Hoff, and he wrote this book called Those Who Remain. And he's a post-apocalyptic author, a combat veteran that served in the U.S. Marine Corps.
Okay.
And this is the quote that he wrote in this book. You might have heard of this, and you guys might have heard it as well. He said, quote, "Hard times create strong men.
Yeah.
Strong men create good times.
Mm-hmm.
Good times create weak men,
Mm-hmm.
and weak men create hard times."
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you, do you think our culture in the 21st century has been consumed with this desire to acquire instant gratification? And if so, do you think that has created weaker men as a result?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Well, Arnik, that is a fantastic question. And yes, I do. Instant gratification has, in the 21st century, a lot of things are become instantaneous to us. If we want a package on Amazon, we get it tomorrow with free one-day shipping. If we want something to eat, we have Uber Eats. We don't meal prep anymore. If we want some sort of sexual satisfaction, there are too many adult websites you shouldn't be on. Yeah, I think all of us know what I'm talking about. So the 21st century has created a time which is nice because it's created things that are convenient and very accessible. But at the same time, it's also created an era for men to where things are so accessible and easy to obtain to the point where they believe everything should be accessible, easy to obtain, and very fast coming. And that's just not life. A lot of the things, especially the things that are more desired to have some sort of self-confidence in yourself, your fitness, your own personality, it takes much longer to attain and much more to acquire day in and day out. It's not as easy as clicking a button online and instantly getting whatever you want. To develop a good body, it takes months, many months, many hours of meal prepping in the gym, time actually working on yourself. So going back to your quote, that the part I really liked is when good times create, essentially, good times create weaker men. When times are too good, you're weak.
Yeah, good times create weak men, yeah.
Yeah, it's when you don't have. Sorry, I'm crying, guys, because it's so cold outside. My eyes are. Just reminding you, it's cold outside.
Way too cold, yeah.
Yes, so we are in Canada. But anyways, when men don't have pain to motivate them, they become weak. When they don't have something to push them forward, they do become weak. You know, sometimes you need a kick in the ass to really get on gear, and sometimes all of us need to be checked, even myself. I like being honest with people, and sometimes in life, even the people that, even here right now, there are many things I personally want to do, and I want to be way further than even what I currently am right now. For the people I'm talking to, I want them to understand that even as I am right now, even though I'm a regular guy, you can probably mix me up with a lot of other brothers. You know what I mean? I want to excel myself beyond even what I currently am before you. The point is, we are normal, average people right now. And we can be more than that in the future. And it takes daily work. Even though we don't like what we are right now, we can be something better tomorrow. And you have to understand why you want to do this. Listen, not everybody wants to be a bodybuilder. Not everybody wants to go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week. Not everybody wants a meal plan. If you're comfortable with your life how it currently is, I advise you to live how you want to live. You know, not everybody wants to be the best, in every regard. I can understand somebody who doesn't want to work out and is more of a foodie. But if you want a different lifestyle, you want to be in good shape, you want to have an optimal experience in the dating lifestyle, you have to put in the work. I have to put in the work. We all have to put in the work. So to answer your question, Harnik, a lot of people, men in particular, are way too comfortable getting things very fast and easy. And we need to understand that life takes work, and it's a daily process, and it's not a quick experience. It's every day, not by tomorrow you get everything you want. Yeah.
So do you consider yourself a strong man, a weak man, or somewhere in between?
I consider myself a regular man who wants to be strong. I consider myself amongst a lot of other men who might feel weak sometimes. Sometimes I might feel weak, sometimes I might feel strong. But it's all about taking what we are now and wanting to be even better. Let's say I feel strong today. I want to be even stronger tomorrow. Let's say I feel weak today. I want to be strong tomorrow. Let's say I feel in the between. I still want to be even better. It's taking what you are right now and wanting to propel yourself further. And I'm not trying to sound, again, I am not trying to sound like any type of generic Nike ad for you. I want you guys to understand that I myself am with you. I am a man who, I would say I'm a regular guy who wants to be even better. That's the whole purpose of this. We don't have to be gods right now. We can become, we can become the Achilles and everybody we want to be. We can become the strong, successful people that we want to be. It's just going to take time, and it takes accepting what you are now, creating a plan, and executing that plan to become what you want to be. So that's what I believe. I truly believe we all have scars. We're all broken in some way, and not all of us are where we want to be, but it's about accepting that and moving forward. Yeah.
We don't have to be gods right now.
No, we don't. But we can be gods next year. We can be gods next month. We can work towards our ascended forms. We work towards to what we want to be. Just because we're not that right now, it doesn't mean we can't be that in the future.
That is very well said, man. And I think that's something that people need to understand, is that if you're looking to become a god right now, or even if let's say you want to become a god in the next 10, 15 years or whatever you do, you've already started, on the wrong side of the, whatever it is you're doing. You haven't put your foot down the right way.
Yes.
Because you're looking to, get somewhere without actually working on the process.
Yes.
Right? It's like saying, I want to do this, right? And all of a sudden the next day you're not there. You quit. Well, that's almost inevitable that you would feel the sensation to quit because you didn't actually plan it out, right? And that's a big thing, and that's something that I see you hone that skill. I see you work on that. And I got to say, I respect this man for that.
I appreciate it.
And it's empowering that someone like you, who's, again, you're not 40 years old, you're not 50 years old, you're not a dad, you don't have no experience, right? but you are willing to learn and understand that this is life, and at such a young age, that is going to not only help you, but it's going to empower others, because they'll see someone as young as you doing things that they thought they could have done, but they didn't have that process, they didn't have that planning, that strategic mindset.
Okay.
Right? And that's a good thing that you have. So that's something that I'm honestly, I could say I'm proud of you for that.
I appreciate that greatly. Thank you.
So I want to ask you, what are some of your biggest gym pet peeves?
Gym pet peeves? That's a pretty big question, but or not too big. Well, my biggest gym pet peeves, honestly, I think it takes, to be honest, I don't even think it's necessarily what's in the gym, it's what's in the person's mind. And that's essentially trying to do as little work as possible and still trying to attain a great physique. I think my biggest gym pet peeve is the mindset of some people, that they think they're going to run a program for a month and they're somehow going to drop from 200 pounds to 140 pounds somehow. Like, you have to, I believe in a more holistic, a more realistic viewpoint. I know this is more so, I don't know if you want me to say improper form. I don't think, but aside from that, it's more so the mindset. I think a lot of people in the gym, once they have the proper mindset, that's when you truly see success. If you go into the gym thinking you're going to drop all the weight you need to drop by summer, that's next month, it's not happening. I think people that think the gym is some sort of sprint more so than a marathon, that's my biggest gym pet peeve, which is more of a mindset thing, but I would say that's my biggest pet peeve. Yeah, absolutely.
So yours is more mindset.
Yeah.
That's funny because mine's is just, when you see those guys, they wrap on 4 plates on each side of the barbell, and then they're lifting it up, and they're screaming like they're giving birth. I hate that shit.
You do?
Because I got my headphones blasting, and I can still hear them in the background.
Still hear them?
But you gave a way better answer than I could.
I appreciate that.
Last and final question before I end this. I know you're a mixed martial arts fan.
I would say so. I would say so in a way.
Okay, so you're fairly, into mixed martial arts.
I would say to an extent, I'm interested in Muay Thai and learning it myself. To say I watch the UFC, religiously, I can't say that, but I would say that I am interested in martial arts.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people heard the news as well, and I think you probably know as well the news that broke earlier this week. May 29th, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. We got Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield, part 3.
Oh my!
What is your take on that fight, and who is going home with the W?
Well, I believe on the last fight it ended in a tie. Am I right? Am I not correct? Yeah.
I believe it did. Yes.
It did end in a tie. So, I mean, everybody's gonna have their money on Mike Tyson. My money's on him too. I think I'm kind of biased, to be honest, because everybody likes fucking Mike Tyson. You know,
We all are.
We do. We are big Mike Tyson fans. So, my money's on him. Holyfield's a great boxer. He's a great boxer, though. You know, you can't take. He's on the top league too. Mike might have possibly a bigger name because of who he is as a person, but you know, Holyfield, he's not a lightweight, so it's going to be a hard fought battle. But my money's on Mike.
And why wouldn't it be? Why would you doubt Iron Mike Tyson? You wouldn't. Because as he said, everybody walks in with a plan until they get
punched in the head, right?
Yeah. Punched in the mouth, face whatever, same
yeah,
shit.
Punched in the head. Yep, he was right.
All right, well, you know what, Justin? I want to say thank you so much.
I appreciate it, brother,
for being on the show. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, it was.
I got to respect you for coming out here, even though you stole my coat.
Yes, I did.
But I mean, it is terrible outside in terms of the wind and the weather. To do this with you has been a pleasure. I hope we do some more in the future as well. We got definitely some more episodes lined up for all you guys. If you want to follow us, I'll leave the tags below. Follow us on Instagram. Stay tuned for more episodes. But for now, it's Justin, Nick signing off. I will see you in the next episode. Stay tuned.
Take care.